Hello and welcome to episode 29 of our Timberborn 1.0, technically no longer experimental playthrough with the Iron Teeth on the Ant Farm map. It is Cycle 30, Day 2. It's going to be our penultimate episode. One more will get us to episode 30. And we are in a pretty good position for me to consider this essentially done. But obviously there's still some things we can continue to improve. We're working on building the Earth Repopulator. Overall, I'll call this about halfway in terms of materials, but we really need more metal blocks and treated planks. And that, of course, will just take time. But while they're doing that, we have the opportunity to continue improving other things like our well-being, which, outside of mangrove fruits currently, the beavers have all of the food, at least partway. Social life can improve. I've got some ideas to fix that. And there's at least some of every type of fun and aesthetics and awe, except the Earth Repopulator, which I already mentioned. So we're in a good spot. Obviously, some things could be a whole lot better, but we are in a good spot. One problem we're going to have, though, is, we don't have a lot of water pumping capacity, and a few of you have caught on to this. We essentially right now just have these 7 pumps here, 2 pumps here, and 2 pumps here. So do we have a decent number of pumps? Yeah, well, we have 11 that we can actually use. But keep in mind we could have a temperate cycle as short as 5 days. So what's going to need to happen is we are going to need to find somewhere to put other pumps besides this little emergency one and this other emergency one here once this gets drained enough by these pumps during the early part of a drought or bad tide. And the way I have this set up is honestly not very good. But what can you do? Not a ton, as it turns out. I do think, based on the fact that this is not really growing anything anyway, we're probably okay to come in here and take out these 3 bushes, which, did just get replanted. But honestly, we're doing fine. We're doing enough. We have 300 something berries. We only have 80 beavers. We're only using 4 of the pods. I think it's going to be just fine. I'm very curious to see if this ever fully calms down here. It might not, honestly. So I've got this sluice set to keep this at 0.3, and then I do have this fill valve also set to 0.3. So it's not necessarily wanting to get stuff out here very fast, but we also have this just dropping straight down into it, so we can't be fully reliant on what's going on here. I don't think it's an issue of throughput. It could honestly just be an issue of 1.9 is not enough to keep all of this moving smoothly. Immediately, to solve the problem, I could put this down just a touch so we aren't, killing all of our crops here. It's not that big of a deal. You can only pump so much. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to, go through all sorts of nonsense just to try and get something done. But I think for the benefit of what we're going to need to do, which is, in the short term, pump much more water, it makes sense just to do this way. So this is going to be a double dynamite situation. Going to get these guys to remove these natural overhangs, and then I'm going to put in at least 1 more pump over here. I think I can finagle this to put 2. I don't have a lot of planks, so it's going to be maybe a little bit of a pain in the butt to do this. Actually, let's think logically here. I might actually be able to get away with not getting rid of this at all. I know for the sake of having, extra water pumping space, maybe we do want these, but for right now it's day 3. We haven't gotten the warning yet, which means we have at least 3 full days after this day. And that's enough time, if we don't blow this up, to just come in with a double platform, 5 double platforms, and put in 2 more water pumps here and here. I think that's worth believing in as a strategy. This is set to 0.65. Going to take that down to 0.5. In fact, it probably doesn't need to be there at all. I just want this to not be constantly flooding. That seems to be kind of okay. I'll put this at 0.95 just in case. See if that smooths out at all. In terms of things that are using planks, I unfortunately do have to keep making stuff that uses planks. But we don't have to also hold everything hostage. I can turn these wood workshops off manually, get a very temporary boost in planks, and let them take care of building this stuff. I believe this is the only stuff that's actually being built right now. If I just prioritize this, that's going to be probably the easiest way to do it. Well, we do have the option of getting rid of the number crunchers. I know you guys are not going to be happy about that, some of you, but there's a lot of materials that go into these things. And especially for gears, that would give us a nice boost to build out the Earth Repopulator. Give us a little bit of planks. Metal parts, I don't really care. I could care less about those. Which, come to think of it, where is that metal parts building? Is it way down here? I don't think we need this on. Turn that off, we'll get one more beaver back. But we could get rid of this after we've unlocked everything we need to unlock. And we could put campfires here, because those have to be on regular dirt. Motivatoriums also have to be on regular dirt, but you take a look at how this is built. There is a depth requirement, and I had it in my head that this needed more than 1 block deep, which is why I did not immediately consider putting it up here. I don't know if that's actually the case. We'll find out. But I do want you guys to know that, yes, that was considered. I just didn't talk about it. We've got that unlocked. I don't think I need to worry about all these roofing pieces, to be perfectly honest. And even if I did want to, 3900 science is enough to unlock all of those, no problem. It's basically impossible for our beavers to become contaminated at this point. Not completely impossible, but fundamentally, I don't think they're going to have a way to do it. Automation, I know I haven't unlocked a bunch of this, but to be perfectly honest, this was never in the plan for this series anyway. It just kind of showed up one day, and I had to integrate it anyway, so I'm really not worried about this. Maybe I should reserve some for the fireworks launcher. I think that's kind of fun. Maybe do that at the very end. We're not doing bots, so we don't need to worry about that. Not going to build large water wheels, not going to build a clutch. That's already done, that's already done, that's already done. I never build these things. I don't think I'm going to need a large barracks, because I started using these large row houses. Don't need district crossings. I've already got those. I've got all of that except the throttling valve, which I don't think I'm going to need. Tube ways on this map just honestly don't make any sense to dedicate the space to it. I don't think I need those, and if I did, I still have enough science to get 1 or 2 of them. Folks, we don't need any more science. We really don't. So, I do think I can get away with taking this number cruncher away. And we have a little bit of space with which to get these beavers either entertained or motivated / indoctrinated, whatever floats your boat. And I'm going to have not enough space for more than, say, 1 campfire here. But I do want to check and see. Okay, that wasn't going to fit anyway. But I can come up here, flatten this out. That is that a 5x5? Looks like it is. So that technically would fit here if there was nothing else in the way. I suddenly have an extreme interest in this. So what if? What if? Well, that can be maybe a time-lapse project regardless. I can find stuff to do with some of this space. Can I expand the dirt at all? Hello, lag. Why is this lagging so bad? There's no reason why this should be lagging this badly on single-time speed. Is my computer about to explode or what? Sure hope not. Anyway, sheesh. You guys are seeing this, right? Okay, now it's gone. I have no idea what that was. I can technically increase the size of this thing here by just a little bit, I could maybe move this number cruncher over if I were truly desperate. I don't think I need to be. But we do have options should we decide we need to have another number cruncher. Or I can put it over here. So all that to say, I'm really not going to feel bad about getting rid of this. I'm just not. So, with apologies to all of you number cruncher stands out there, the time is now. So, we have all of these beautiful materials on the ground that can be picked up. And I know we also need to be building these water pumps, but I need the materials to do that. And these were prioritized construction on the highest tier first, so they're going to be built first, even though those are also super high tier. These are set to water pump activation TI. This one should also be, and then that one should also be, just for the sake of keeping everything organized. And we have 1,700 water pumped. Are these dumb? Yes. However, when we get down to everything drained out of here except that bottom tile, it's going to be nice to have this in place and to be able to keep pumping just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Let's also not forget we could, since it's going to be a while before we can use these, should we find ourselves in a position with extra planks and extra logs, could get rid of these and move them up one more tile so we can just keep pumping that much faster, but I don't think that's going to be our biggest concern. We just need something to be pumped. And I do have plenty of storage right here. I maybe could put another one of these large tanks in. But right now I've got almost 8,000 storage that isn't flooded. I got these 3 big tanks here. I've got a bunch of these medium ones. And then I've got a couple that are buried somewhere. But at any rate, you get what's happening here. We're in an okay spot. Not in a great spot, but we are in an okay spot. Especially since I paused these things here, so we can actually use these planks for something else. So we've got them pumping. We've got them storing water. We're not going to be anywhere close to this being full by the time the temperate cycle ends, so I don't want to, try to rush to put another giant tank in and then not even have it remotely finished by the time the stuff is done. I'd rather focus on, getting other things accomplished. And having the gears taken care of for the Earth Repopulator earlier is actually going to be really good for treated plank production, because planks either go into a gear workshop or they go into a wood workshop. And if I don't have to put them in a gear workshop, then that means I can not only deprioritize the gear workshops, I can just pause them entirely and divert the rest of the planks either to construction or to the wood workshops. So, we'll let them do what they got to do and just keep on keeping on. And I will reconnect this so this motivatorium can have power in due time. Because I do still want to get up here. I think that is important. It is just going to be one of those things. I'm going to have a staircase. It's a little bit cheaper with materials to build this way, because I don't have to have treated planks to do it. Just need to get up here. Why did I pause the game? I don't need to pause the game to do this. I need to move this to this side. Yeah, so that I can then come up this way, and then... Now that's one... It's one log. Do I care that much about getting... No, I don't. I don't. We've got oak trees. We're going to be okay. I don't need to live my life beholden to getting a single log. We'll just do that. Alright, so they got plenty to do. We are... Oh, this was not supposed to be... Okay, you know what? You know what? I now understand why. This was like this. And it was not automated to TI during a temperate cycle. Well, the good thing about this automation system is basically everybody's in the same boat of having to figure out how stuff works. So I'm probably not going to apologize for still making mistakes on it. But we're, you know, most of the time, we're learning. We'll just have to change these back over. Is what it is. Water pump activation is... That's the plank counter. Water pump activation's down here. Yeah, so that's a Gary 2 or water pump activation TI. That's what I should have had this attached to the whole time. So day 6, we get that drought warning. The full 8-day maximum temperate cycle. It's about as good as we could have hoped. Let these guys keep pumping for the next 3 days. Again, I don't think we're going to fill all of our storage just because that's probably not even possible. And that's fine. We'll be able to keep pumping for a little bit because we have, well, not a huge amount of water, but we have enough here. We can keep pumping for at least 5 or 6 days. Full tilt and then either take them off the pumps or just wait and see what they can get themselves into. But we have successfully, I'm not going to have this on triple speed the whole time, we've successfully gotten all the way up here. I can't reach this because we can't get back there, so I am going to have to put one more set of stairs in here and kind of do this in tiers. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks high. If we're going to blow it up, which I feel like there's no reason not to. Get this all the way down here and then think about how we're going to go about increasing the size of our landmass here. If I go all the way out, I can go to here. I can have this come out this way, this come out this way, and then that's that. Coming up from underneath would give us additional space, but I'd have to build scaffolding from underneath to do that. And currently, I don't exactly have a convenient way of accomplishing that. If I were to go out, say, 2 more this way, then I could come out a decent bit more. I just have to be able to get directly under that. And maybe that's not exactly possible. So I've got an idea. Why don't we do something potentially very dumb? Potentially very dumb. Yeah, go back to what you were doing. Because we have all this dynamite, what if we actually removed this top layer for this area we're working on here, and then rebuilt this? I can only go out that far there. And then just put the dirt back in on top. We got 250 some dirt, which, you know, isn't a ton, but these are only 4 pieces of dirt each. And I think that will end up being fine. Is this reachable? It is not. Alright, let's extend the path. That should not be a problem. I don't need to really be careful about what I blow up. I just need to make sure that I'm going to have access directly below. So I only need to do these 2. Everything else that gets blown up with this, including these fringe things, can be put back. It's not going to be a big deal. And we should, operative term being should, be pretty good to go. Not really lose any sleep over it. We're approaching 4,000 water pumped. Is that enough? Objectively, no, but don't forget, we have the ability to continue doing stuff if we so choose. We're using metal for other things besides building giant tanks. Yeah, I need another 1,400 of that. Gears are looking good, though. Again, the sooner those are done, the better this is going to be. Alright, K for kaboom. And that is going to give us a nice opportunity to get this extended out. Yes, just another 2 pieces of terrain. But once that's in, it's going to be a lot easier for us to do what we want to do. In fact, I think, depending on how this is set up, I wonder, can I go underneath to the side here? Okay, I cannot. But I can... Okay, let's think here. I can have this come out. That spot, it's so hard to tell exactly what I've done. Can have that come out there, there, and then I can't go anywhere else. But if I were able to take care of that by demolishing... Not that one. No, that's the wrong piece. I can put that there. I'm going to need to go one more back. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this, because then if I have something else on the lower level, I can go one more that way, and that's going to help us out a lot. I'm trying to make space for a couple more campfires, and possibly, depending on how this other thing goes, another motivatorium, since we already have power up here. We will see what is going to work. In the meantime, I definitely need to get these triples all the way down. They can take the stairs away, and I can do all sorts of other stuff. 4,400 water. Again, not perfect, but it is progress. So we do only have 77 beavers. The number's gone down a tiny bit, because we really, honestly, don't need that many beavers for this map. I think we're going to be alright. Just got to let them do what they have to do. I'm going to wait for these guys to be done so nobody gets K-for-kaboomed. I just have to check this because I do have limited time here. Yeah, getting that done there will be fine. I'm not going to need it on this side because that can just overhang just fine. And let's just make absolutely certain I can't put one right here. Yeah, that's not going to work. But this here is going to allow us to go substantially further that way. And I could always put a pillar right here if I felt like it, but I'd have to be able to actually build up, and that means I'd have to put it here. I think. Yeah, right here, so they could actually build from there. That might work. It might be worth doing. It's going to look ugly, but it might be worth doing. Okay, for kaboom. Let's get rid of this. We don't need this either, because they can just... I think they should be able to reach basically all of this. Yeah, let's just do doubles here. Yeah, single there. This can definitely be a triple. If they can reach this from below, which they absolutely should be able to, then I can get rid of this staircase, but honestly, we're not really in a super huge rush. We will see what we can get ourselves into. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Alright, now it is time for us to get all of this popped in. That's going to go all the way out. That's going to go all the way out. That's going to go all the way out like that. Look at that. Look at all this extra space we've got. That, folks. That's good stuff. K for kaboom. K for kaboom. This will be another triple, and then this will be I guess just a single, actually. And we are looking good. We're looking good. 5,400 water. Should be slightly better than that, but I think we're going to be fine. And since it's a drought, we don't have to worry about... Actually, we don't have to worry about any of it because everything's been successfully diverted, and it has been for a long time. Old habits die hard, thinking about all these other challenges in which we find ourselves. I'm just waiting for them to put everything in that they need to put in. We can reduce working hours, too, at some point, kind of soon. How long's the drought? 28 days. Yeah, it usually doesn't reduce the length very much once you get past a certain point. But we're in okay shape. Let's K for kaboom. And then that's going to get this nice and flat here. Let's remove the stairs. And then we have a decision to make about how we're going to get this area set up. I've got that. I've got that. I don't have to have these stairs come in this exact way. I do have the option, because this is here. I don't have to have the stairs go up this way. I can have them come this way. But depending on how we want to do... If I want to put another motivatorium in here. If it even has the vertical clearance, which I honestly am not convinced it will. It will have to go like this, and the power is not on that side. I can't put this here. I could... Well, actually not right there, because that doesn't have a ground underneath. Yeah, it would have to go in like this, or actually, that would connect. I could put it like this, but that is also... Yeah, that's how that power is going currently to the centrifuge, which does not have to be that way. I could have this go down... I could have it go down behind the backside, but I can't build... Okay. Let's first off just, you know, focus on getting this to be set up to its fullest possible extent. Oh, I should have raised these from that to the very highest. I don't think it's going to be a problem, though. We'll be all right. These are paused because water pump activation TI has not been done yet because I don't have... oh, I always forget what I set these to. 25%. It's got to be below 25% for those to kick on. I'm going to just go ahead and change this to be 75%. Run those pumps again. Because I do want to pump as much of this out as I can, as early as I can, so that we have, one, enough stored up, but I need to get some in these large tanks at some point. Alright, there's nothing left to do up here except reconnect this. I'm not really worried about that, though. Now, the $64,000 question. I can't believe that actually works. I genuinely cannot believe it. I thought I needed more vertical space. Well, that is that's an interesting conundrum here. Let's take a look. I know in a book. Obviously nobody's got it right now because it's been disconnected, but I thought a lot of them had actually been getting into it. It has enough space for visitors. That is 18 slots, by the way. Theoretically, depending on how long the effect lasts, it should be able to get to everybody. Will it on 18-hour days? No, it won't. But I am very interested to see if this is going to be a viable strategy here. So, humor me for a moment, as if you have any choice in the matter. I'm going to put in power shaft here. I'm going to detonate this piece, and I'm going to have this power run underneath here so that I can actually move it to be in another spot. Can I get rid of this one tile? I don't know. I also don't think it's going to be a problem, though. But I do want this to be where the doorway is, based on how we're going to have to have this set up. Actually, you know what I could do? No, that wouldn't work like that. I've got to put it there. You know what? You know what? No, I don't. I can't justify putting it here. I really can't. But I do still want to move this so that I can have it kind of separate. Oh, that was a bad idea. You know what? Consider me thoroughly corrected here. Okay, I did not think that was going to do that. There's no scenario in which I can... Oh, wait, I can just... Oh, alright. Boy, do I feel dumb. I should have just done this the entire time. Should have just done that. So that'll go there. That'll go there. I just needed to maybe think about this for a couple more seconds before acting on it. This here, I can kind of do... I'm going to have to leave... Yeah, I'm going to have to leave this in place. Just let this be what it's got to be. Oh, these oak trees are coming in. Are they marked for cutting? They are, because I remembered. Okay, they got that done. That's the next thing. There's going to be a lot of stuff like this, I'm afraid. So please do bear with me here. It's going to make sense in context when you see all of this in the light in which it's supposed to be represented. Just need to let these guys do what they've got to do. Are these pumps still on? They are, because I wanted 75%. Okay, yeah, see, this is, it's working out. It's doing okay. Alright. Too far from a district and cannot be reached. Because, Yeah, remember when I removed this? I've got to put the stairs back in. It's just so they can do that. I can do that one and then that one. I don't think that's because of the direction of the arrow. It shouldn't be. Because there's no construction behind it waiting. I think they'll just build it. But they have to be able to get to it. Hopefully. There we go. There we go. Get that in there. Come on. Get that log. That single log. Alright. Now, I've got to go back to this level. So I need to get this power, instead of going up and over, I need to go here and then up, because I need it to connect to this other stuff here. And I can't get rid of this piece of... Maybe I can. Okay. There's a reason why I'm doing this. Oh, I can't get rid of that one. I don't want to get rid of that one. I just want to, remember, folks, this is me actually using my brain, or attempting to, not premeditating any of this. Oh, see, I thought that was going to work. I thought I could do that. Okay, that I absolutely cannot modify. What about... Because I have to be able to get this out of here for me to do what I want to do. I have to get the power underneath all of this mess here. So it doesn't really matter how that happens. I just have to be able to do it. So that going up here is not what I'm wanting. I can actually leave this vertical power shaft in here because it really doesn't matter. I can just build something on top of it, but this has to go here. And it really should connect to this spot. And it also has to connect... Maybe I'm just approaching this entirely incorrectly. I can do that, but that's not going to get me down that side. I can, and probably should, do this. If I want another motivatorium, which I know I said I wasn't going to do. So I'm going to pause the building, but I do still want it to be here, so I remember that that is what I'm redesigning this for. And I do still need, because this is in place, I need to put my centrifuge back in. That will go there. I don't have those things hidden anywhere. I can't get them. Good. Let's pause so I can actually hear myself think. This is a path that must be a path. This power shaft has to go over here and connect to this. That's the only way it's going to work. To get up to the top. Unless I redo this entirely so that this goes up here and then across, but that would be more difficult to build. That also doesn't solve the problem of getting power to this. Okay, so instead I need to get, first of all, I need to get this tree out of here. That needs to go away. And then I can... Oh, I know how to solve the path problem. Okay, this doesn't need to be corn rations, first of all. This can be something else that I don't have space for. Not mangrove fruits, kohlrabies are completely irrelevant. I should have 1,200 storage for basically all of these. How do I not have any storage? Okay, well that's where that goes then. Oh, I forgot to build storage for fermented soybeans and for soybeans. For shame. For shame. Anyway, I was going to say, oh, I'll put my, I'll just put my whatever here. Yeah, well, that would have been a smart way to do this. Okay. Okay, well, that was an idea. I'll tell you what we don't need is we don't need multiple of these bad water tanks. If I got rid of this, which they can't get to. Once they build this, they should be able to. I can't get rid of this platform. Wait a second. No, I don't have to be stupid. Just move the stairs over here. And just walk on it. What am I doing? That connects there. This is not possible to move. Ah. Okay, okay. I remember. I remember what happened here. Why is this so hard for me to figure this out? I just have to have this come across here, and then I just have to have... Yeah, I can just put a staircase here. I have no idea why this has taken me so long to figure out. Let's do this. Let's keep that relatively simplified here. That has to be kept paused. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I was trying to think, how am I going to get it across over this? No, I don't need to do that. I just need this to come up here, and then I need this to come around this whole side here. And then, yeah. Then this is what it is. I don't need extra beaver storage. Do I want to put another mud bath over here? Because actually 2 mud baths here and here. Let's check our... Okay, only 35 of these guys are actually getting it. That's 2 slots. I mean, these have 8 slots each, so that's 16 at a time. We'll keep that idea in reserve to put 2 mud baths here and here. So if we just have this path instead earmarked for this spot, I get a 1 whole campfire. Oh boy, 1 whole campfire. Wow, what a great achievement that was. If I don't need to have anything here, I could possibly fit 1 more campfire. Or I say, you know what, the extra motivatorium just isn't necessary, but I do, for right now, actually have to have this. So I can have that thing taken care of, so I can know if I need to build another one. How has it already been 37 minutes, and I have not gotten much accomplished? So we are still over a full block too high to use this pump and to fill these up. The pumps are still on. We have 24 days left. We have 5,600 water. We have 76 beavers. Very conservatively, numbers-wise, we are sitting right around 175 water consumption per day-ish. So I wonder if... that's going to be enough. Well, it's going to be close. It's always close. That's kind of what always ends up happening here. Okay, that's done. I needed this to be a vertical shaft. Yeah, because they can build the rest of this from the top here. So that's taken care of. I can put some other well-being things here, but I need to know what's going to actually make a difference. Scratchers. How many scratchers do I have? Because that can't be enough. 2. And they're not really being used. That's also, honestly, probably because we have 18-hour working hours. But it never hurts to have extra scratchers. So let's do... let's say 2 there. In terms of well-being, we can put in some other stuff over here, some statues or what have you. If we decide that's actually something that's worth doing. So this would get everybody that's down there. If I put it back there, it's not going to be a big deal. That is 2 tiles. Okay, we don't have enough height there. We do have enough height there. Maybe that's something that would be better here. I don't know. I'm also probably massively complicating this for no reason. If I put that there, can I put a beaver statue? I can. Okay. Well, that is, that's something. Beaver bust within 2 tiles. Even though, you know, there are a lot of beavers that will be coming through this, so maybe that would be a, that doesn't fit either. What if I did this? That also doesn't fit. Okay, well, let's not worry about that then. I can put that there. I can put the brazier there, which will still hit everybody working at the mine and coming to this thing, so I guess that is better than nothing. Just let them build what they gotta build, I guess. Too far from a, wait a planks. Ah. Treated planks. Treated planks. Guess what I turned off and didn't turn back on? If you guessed woodwork shops, you win the prize. The prize being absolutely nothing. Okay, so we have enough gears. That's good. Gears are supposed to be automated. Where's the gear counter? It is somewhere. There it is. Okay, we're at 20% of the threshold, but the total storage is 720. I don't need that. Let's go down to 5%. That'll be, or I could just set quantities, but 5% of 720 is going to be like 36. And I don't think we're going to need that many gears for basically the rest of the playthrough. This timer is about to run out, and then those should pause, and we should not see those come back on for a long time. That is a cool feature, and I'm glad I mostly understand it now. I'm not going to claim to be a genius, but that seems to be working okay. All right. This is now on. So we're going to see after about another day or so how many beavers get the boost from it. If it's most of them on 18-hour days, if we get to like halfway, I'm going to feel really good about it, and I'm not going to build this other motivatorium. But we won't know until we get there. Now, I see something interesting here, and that is this has been almost completely emptied by the pumps, which are, by the way, still on. They are continuing to give us water. We've got 5,600 stored. For 21 days, that's gotta be pretty close. So if I go for 21 days, oh yeah, we're good. We're good in terms of, you know, beaver consumption. 21 days is gonna get us just south of 4,000, if I'm guessing correctly. Yeah. Or it's gonna require a little bit less than 4,000. So we're actually looking pretty good. All right, so let's come back up here. Find this. It's water pump activation TI. That's okay. So this guy is on for 70%. Let's move this down to, let's say 25%. We'll go. Well, I can't say nightmare mode because that's an actual thing I've done. If it gets truly dire, and we need to pump more than a little bit, this 1.2 or whatever block height in 20 days will probably evaporate. But we also need this to be, you know, actually irrigating stuff. The thing I would like to do is keep this as long as we can, so we don't have to worry about getting the rest of this pumped out. Or maybe I shouldn't worry about it. Maybe I should just let them continue. Maybe that is actually what I'm doing. I hope what you take away from these videos is that I'm not any better than you in terms of understanding this game. I just try stuff and I record it and I put it on the internet so everyone can see when I succeed and when I fail. I'm not some sort of, you know, generational genius or whatever. I'm just a guy with the, I guess, lack of shame to put everything on here. Let's check. Okay, motivatorium's at 13. That's not quite a full day. I think I'd like to give it one more night here. We'll see how many get motivated. And if that doesn't go up very much, then I guess that would be a good case for us to have this second motivatorium here. And I do have the gears to make it happen. The treated planks, not so much. Those are being pumped into the Earth Repopulator. And we are still less than halfway on the treated planks, and we're a little over a third of the way on the metal blocks. The metal blocks are probably what's going to take the most time. The mine only has 2 beavers in it right now. This also consumes treated planks, by the way. So maybe we need to build more woodwork shops more than anything else. You know, I never said this was going to be a very quick process, did I? Okay, so this is now low enough to cause these to be... oh yeah, these are super dead. These mangrove trees are super dead. Well, I made choices. Many of you would say they are not good ones. And that is, you know, that's just how it is. And this is absolutely going to be an issue. Yeah. Be it known that the whatever strategy I had for this, maybe don't duplicate this. But we're definitely going to have enough. We could splash this. Actually, no, I got rid of that water dump. Well, anyway, we are seeing these get filled up, which, you know, that's a good thing. Wait, did they already pump that completely dry? Oh boy. Well, that's not good. I do have some here that I could release back in here if I really felt like it. Oh, this is what killed me, the 24-hour pump activation timer. Oh boy. Well, Motivatorium's still at 12, so you know what that means, folks. It means it's time to build another Motivatorium. For whatever that means. Okay, why is this saying it doesn't have... Oh. Somebody forgot to build the stairs. Or forgot to unpause the stairs. Alright, this... Not my finest moment. But we do have almost 6,000 water, which, you know, that's good. It's just this is, Ugh. This will be pumped dry in a matter of maybe a day, day and a half. Which, you know, that's fine. That's the reason why I did this way. We'll get these tanks full up. Ideally, we'll keep those full through the start of the next temperate cycle, and that's going to allow them to, the next time this gets pumped dry, immediately have access to 2,400 water, which was the entire point of doing this in the first place. So, you know, what's the, that monkey's paw thing? So I guess to some extent we actually did get that. Alright, second Motivatorium is just about complete. Just need somebody to come and wrap up construction. And that is going to be fine. Oh, I also extremely nerfed the gravity battery. That was not intentional. But it seems like this is actually doing a pretty good service for everybody here. Maybe I can add another one. Because it'll recharge overnight, and it will discharge during the day. Even though we have a completely stable power input, we have varying output needs. That's always what these were supposed to be for with the Iron Tea. That just never really played like it. All right. Still at 14. I think now it's very obvious that the issue is probably at least due in part to working hours. Let's go down to 16. The bell is not near enough anybody to really make a difference, so I should put at least one more somewhere. I can pop this here. They should be able to reach that. I do not want to listen to the sound. That should help us out a little bit. That was the one that was really lacking here in aesthetics. Everybody else basically has it. Swimming pool, well, you can see why that's not happening. And I did build another campfire, but that's one of those things that they just have to be able to get to. Rooftop terraces. That, folks, is... Well, it shouldn't be a problem. But it's one of those things that we are going to have to be pretty careful about how we implement here. Not that it's hard to do, it's just that it's... the only way I can really do this is with overhangs. And I don't have metal for this right now. I've got... Well, that's deprioritized, so it's all going to go wherever I tell it to go. Let's... Because I know I can get away... Maybe not right here. Let's... Because these are oaks. They need 3 blocks. I know I can get away with doing this. Let's take those out. Put singles and then overhangs. Am I going to be able to get away? No, I don't have... Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Okay, that's not going to work there, and that would be... Yeah, it's never a good sign when your YouTuber makes that kind of noise while thinking about suboptimal things that he could do to his Timberborn playthrough. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do 4 buys here and here and do that there. Put that there, and then all of that to get 2 rooftop terraces in. But that is probably the best thing I can do for this at this point in time. So let them do what they got to do. We're at 5,700 water. Have I sucked up everything? I have. Alright, that's regrettable. For now, I'm going to just super deprioritize this. Because this will automatically not be accessible during a flood tide anyway. Just need those to get filled up. We've got enough water. No question at all with 15.2. Wow, how is it going up to... It's that many of these guys going to the motivatorium? Wow, okay, well, you know what? That was worth doing, because now we have 77. We'll just have to keep an eye on the rest of this. And I think there's probably not a ton else that we really can or need to do, except just, you know, time-lapse this. So everything, basically everything's in place. We'll get through the rest of this drought here. See how high the well-being goes. Remember, the max is, I think, 70 or 80 something. And, yeah, I don't often play just without any of the major mods that add stuff, so I do not always remember those things. But I think we are getting pretty close. Aside from just, you know, waiting to have all of the materials for the Earth Repopulator, which is another reason I'm time-lapsing, because, as you know, it just takes time. We're in a really good spot, and I feel pretty satisfied. Obviously, it's sad to lose the mangroves. We're not going to get the points for those, because those are all going to dry up. They will be replanted, and I think we'll be in a better position in the next cycle to maybe not run out of water quite as fast. And we'll see what happens. But I'm good. Now, there we go. Now it's 56, but 57. Now you're seeing something completely different from what I'm seeing now because, well, we're time-lapsing this. But I see 58. Maybe you see a number that's higher than that. We'll find out in just a moment when I come out of this time-lapse at the end of the drought, and well, I would say we'd compare notes, but, you know, you're seeing the same stuff I am, so we'll talk about it. All right, cycle 31 is here. And our progress on the Earth Repopulator has really moved along. We're at 57% complete. We have all the gears. We have 2/3 of the planks, treated planks, and we're almost at halfway to the metal blocks. So for this to be finished within the next episode, we really need to have some more pine trees, which I thought we kind of helped solve last episode by planting some more up here. And we're harvesting pine resin from them, but it clearly is not enough. And yes, all of the mangroves did die. It's a very sad story. Some of the blueberries did die, but I think we're at the spot now where it's not going to really matter how many more of these blueberry bushes we keep around. So we really need to, if we can at all, find any place to plant any more pine trees within the range of the Tapper's Shack. We really need to make use of it. So, okay, that's actually not even in range at all. Can't do that. That's maybe barely accessible. It'll be, you know, it'll be irrigated. But we are going to have to wait just a little bit now. That shows up. Oh! There's another forester over here. Okay. But I do only have the reach on this guy to get to that spot there. I see here that this can also be blasted down, so we'll do that. I get a couple more slots for some pine trees. I really should have done this a long time ago, but you know how it goes. I'm going to take these berries out. Some of these oak trees, that's at 80%. I'm just going to not replant those. Yeah, I just, we have enough wood now, I think, to probably take us the rest of the way. I just really need to have some more pine trees. Really need to have more pine trees. Yeah, I hope I'm not making a mistake with the blueberries. I don't think it's going to be a problem. These did die. That was, unfortunate. But it's fine. We do have, for some reason, not completely full, but, we do have about... Yeah, we got about 1,400 between both of these. I really thought since they were prioritized and set to obtain that they would actually get that in there. I wonder if that's because this was not set to prioritized. Okay, how many haulers do I even have? Because I think I could actually make a decent dent with this before it gets completely inaccessible. Okay, I've only got 5. Let's, for right now, change this. I know it's probably a little too late. Because this is going to be very full in a matter of moments here. And I can't let... Well, I can actually let some out of here. Is this stupid? A little bit. But I want this to be full. That's the entire reason we built this. And yes, I do see you. Okay, well, this is already forfeit. I do see you people said this was really stupid in the comments. Like, I do actually read all those. I don't always agree with, you know, some of those things, but very clearly this was a result of folly. I can... Should I choose to really commit to the bit here, I could get rid of these levies, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think that's going to be a wise choice. It is what it is. Well, there's something here. There is something, and that matters. That's fine. So I guess we'll just have to let them come in here and do a little bit more, and then I do have to have probably this episode end in a little bit. Now here we go again with this. It'll bounce out eventually. Get these pines popped in. Unmark those for cutting. Those were already not marked for cutting. These were birch trees because that is what would fit. That is currently flooded. It doesn't have to stay flooded. Does this have... Oh, good. I got rid of that, and that gives me a couple more slots. Let's do that. Pine here, pine here, pine here. And then, see, I really should be putting storage over the water, but I don't exactly have a lot of places for that. This doesn't go... connect to anything? I can't get to it. Yeah, this is just not exactly a desirable position here. However, comma... we have the ability to move this back. Put this right here. Not that we're really gonna, you know, ever have enough pine resin to need one of these. But I can at the very least attempt to do something right. This is probably one of the only other places down here I can put in another tank without it just getting in the way. So that's fine. That's only going to let in what it can handle. For where we are right now, I think putting this down to 0.9 and this down to 0.9 is fine. Just let them do what they've got to do. I may have to keep this open for another large tank, but I guess it's alright. I've got a total storage just shy of 8,000. We didn't even have that full last time, but we do have additional pumps now, and I think that's probably okay. Yeah, so where does that leave us on the rest of the stuff? Well, the high being well score, there you go. I'm not going to bother correcting that. It's 59, which means everything with the exception of mangrove fruits was good to go. So, you know, provided we can actually keep some water in here, we're going to be in really good shape, folks. I'm going to put this back up to, say, 0.7. I don't think that's really going to matter if I have these opened. We need to try and keep this full, but at a certain point, there's only so much we can do. I did unmark these mangroves for cutting because we do have somewhere over here. Yeah, there he is. We have a gatherer flag, and I had been harvesting these for wood because, well, 10 days you get 2 logs. That's pretty stinking good. That's better than pines, and it's substantially better than the birches. So, but this is 7 trees. That's not really going to get us that much. Every 10 days we'll get 28, 28 fruits. So, I mean, it'll help. It's not going to be perfect. Nothing ever is. To expect otherwise is a fool's errand. And I don't particularly want to be a fool, so I'm not going to tie myself to that ship. We do have to, unfortunately, wait another 18, 19 days to start getting mangrove fruits from down here, but provided we don't either drown them or, you know, dry them out, we'll also have some fruit coming from here. So, again, it's not perfect. It's not even close. But it is looking pretty okay. And I guess I can just leave this on pine resin. Again, are we going to need it? Probably not. Should I have put another tank here? Probably. But what this is now is totally fine. We're on day 4. We just got the alert, so we got another 3 full days. So at the start of day 7, we'll be in a drought. But it could be worse. You know, we are almost to 5,000 water stored. That is not counting this, because this is not accessible. It's flooded. I don't think it's counting that, because that would be... Yeah, these together, for the sake of convenience, we're just going to say... It's going to say 1,400, those together. This is another 1,200. So our actual storage... Math is hard. 2,600. We'll call this another 1,000. 3,600. Another 600-ish. 4,200. Call that another 100. Round that down. You see, it's fine. We're going to be okay. We've got these little ones up here. And we have another couple days to get everything full, and I've got room for another 2,900. I think it's going to be fine. I will, however, recognizing the gravity of the situation, put in probably not right here. Probably has to go that way. I'll put in another one of these. I know I should have duplicated this, just, you know, 5 years of muscle memory doesn't go away. Just build another one of these tanks so we can get that capacity up to about 9,400, 9,500, and then see what we can get filled up. You know as well as I do, it's not a perfect process, but I do appreciate you guys sticking with it. I appreciate you continuing to give good, insightful feedback, valid criticism when it's actually necessary, and all of that good stuff. We just gotta keep grinding away. So, you know, next episode is episode 30. I know the Earth Repopulator is not finished, but it will be. Next episode, we'll set it off, maybe play with fireworks a little bit, depending on how things are going, and then that's going to be it for this series. I've had a whole lot of fun, and I hope you have as well. It's kind of got a wrench thrown into it with all the automation stuff that just completely came out of nowhere. But given the situation, I think we've handled it reasonably well. We'll know in future playthroughs a little bit more about it and be able to plan for it from the start. But I have very much enjoyed playing on this map. The challenge of the small, weird terrain and the hard mode combined, I think, has been a very pleasant departure from some of the other series we've done. And I trust that you've also enjoyed it. But it is time for us to say goodbye this episode, not the whole series, that's next episode. And, of course, acknowledge the Beard Boosters who subsidize the channel so I can even do 30-episode, basically uncut playthroughs of, what, this is number 33. No, this is number 31. I'm on number 33. That's the other series we're doing video-wise. It would not be possible without those folks who make it possible for me to just say, you know what? I don't want to do sponsors. I don't want to make brain rot edits for TikTok. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to play the game. I want to enjoy the process of doing so. And I want to talk with you guys along the way. That's what this channel is about. As far as I'm concerned, it's what it's always going to be about. And when that stops working, then, well, maybe it's time for me to go and move on and do something else. But for now, we're having a great time, and I'm very thankful for the folks that make that possible. So, whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back in a couple of days for the series finale of this playthrough. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.